Hey folks, Johnson here. Well, not really planning on making this an everyday thing, but I figured I would do a little bit more video. Just a lot of it as a follow-up for yesterday. I did tow the BMW early this morning, and towed one more after that, and now I've gotten a call from the owner of the rotation call we picked up yesterday, which was that Ford Explorer. It's supposed to be bringing the title and leaving it for the bill, which is always a great thing. But what I wanted to talk about, the main thing I wanted to talk about is repossessions and why I don't do them. I have done them before, used to do a few of them, but I'm going to explain to you why I don't do them now. Okay. I think that there's probably 95%, if not more, of the people out there that need their car repossessed. You know, the ones that are behind on payments. But out of that, 100% of people, that 5% or less that don't need it repossessed, and I don't want to be the one to take their car. And I'll explain that to you. When I was doing repossessions, I was pretty young, 23, 24 years old, and I was sort of getting the bottom of the bucket stuff that nobody else could get. They done spent some time on it, and it wasn't going to be profitable for them to do it, so they would hand them off to me, and so it was going through about 3 different people already. But I happened to get one time, and I called the boy. It was on a little Nissan truck, a little hard body, and wasn't no really nice truck or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, wasn't a new truck, but I'm assuming it was beyond his means because he wasn't making his payments. But I had called him, got a hold of him, spoke with him, and he wasn't, of course, wanting it repossessed, and I guess nobody wants them repossessed, or very few. But he screwed up and told me where he worked at, and so the next day, I didn't tell him I wasn't going to come get it. I just listened to what he had to say. But the next day, I did go get his truck and loaded it up, done my repossession, got paid. Well, later on, I found out, this boy was working hard and had 2 kids, and it was pretty rough on him to have a vehicle repossessed. And I thought about it. I had to, reflect on my life where I was, 19 years old, married, had a kid, making $6 an hour, getting paid every 2 weeks, driving a ragged old, I drove a Datsun for a while, a Honda for a while, a couple different Camaros, but, the difference between me and this guy is I could fix my stuff. If something broke, I could fix it. So I was driving old junk, and when it broke down alongside the road, all I ever worried about was getting to work. I didn't care about getting home because I had plenty of time to get home, if I broke down on the way or run out of gas or something. So I just wanted to get to work. So this boy here, not being mechanically inclined or a mechanic in any way, he had to depend on a vehicle that, was a running, driving car and didn't break down on him every day or every week like mine did. And, he had no choice but to finance, I'm assuming. And, if you've got a choice of what you're going to pay, are you going to pay your light bill and your rent and your, buy food for your family, your kids, before you pay your car payment? I would. That's me. I'm hoping that most everybody else would too, but and like I said, there's probably 95% of the people that need them repossessed, but I'm not going to be the one that takes that one car from that person that's out working hard. And because I know daggone well, if I had financed a car at a young age, 19, 20, 21, it probably would have gotten repossessed. And luckily I didn't ever do that, but if I had, I would have been in trouble. And it mounts up too, because the interest rates and you know, if you borrow money on a car, you say, well, I can go borrow money on furniture, I can borrow money, you know, get a TV, and all this other stuff, and then before you know it, you're so far in debt. You know, I've never owned a credit card. Well, I'll take that back. I had a Lowe's credit card one time, but it seemed like everything that I had gotten messed up. I bought a console TV, and that's how long ago this has been, and it didn't last very long. And I bought an air compressor, and it didn't last very long, so I just I cut up that Lowe's card and never had another credit card my entire life. Still don't. Got a debit card, so if I don't have the money, I can't spend it. So anyway, that's why I don't do repossessions. We're gonna get down here and hopefully we can get the title for this thing. And I had somebody ask about the boat down here, and I want to explain and show what my plans are with it. Another future project. All right, it's real bright out here, so I don't know how this thing's gonna do. I've got to get my grass mowed here. Got the title, got the keys. Said they didn't need to get anything out. Let's see what it does. He said it's got a cracked head on it. See if it'll start it off. Oh, sounds like most of the Ford Explorers. Pressure finally moved. Of course, you don't sound good, but it runs. Like I said, the rear, maybe a couple tires. They're 16s. I wish it were 15s. 15s are hard to find. That's why these are going off this one. As for the boat, got this boat quite a while ago. I have got a friend that built a boat. Now I think this is about, I think, total of 38 feet long, something like that. I might be wrong. Yeah, it's not quite that long. Maybe it's 32 or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is a big boat. But I brought this in, and the guy had put this on the trailer. This is pretty crazy, but I guess because his half-ton van wouldn't haul it, he decided to back everything up. So as you can see, that is backed way up and the tongue's sticking way out here. So I can just about grab that trailer with my hands and just pick it up. There's no tongue right there. So anyway, he done that so he could move it, and I don't know how in the heck he kept it. You know, he kept it on the road, because I moved it with my wrecker, and I could feel the back of it just, you know, trying to push me around left to right and wobble. So the boat is hanging way off the back of the trailer, as you can see. So what the plan is for this, I had a buddy, like I said, that built a boat, and he needs the drivetrain out of this boat. And when I got this boat, I was told it had a big block Chrysler engine in it. Well, turns out it's got a 360 small block, so I'm really not too interested in the engine. So he's going to take everything out of it and put in his boat. And he told me he wanted to cut a hole in the side of this one and use it for a sort of a clubhouse for his 11 grandchildren. So we've got to get it over there. But the trailer itself is what I'm interested in. This is 6-inch aluminum I-beam, and the plan is my 4-door rollback. The aluminum bed on it I don't like. It's too narrow, and for what I do with it, you know, rollback wise. So I want to build a steel bed and slide it on in place of it. So I won't be changing any of the tilt cylinders or the slide cylinder or anything like that, but I will be changing the entire steel part of the bed. I'm going to build the bed more like the other truck, the International rollback, that my homemade one, of course, that you see all the time. And so I'm going to slide that one off, slide it on, and I'm going to use this aluminum frame Like I said, 6-inch I-beam, so it's pretty heavy. And we use this aluminum frame, these axles, and that bed to build a car trailer, and probably end up being a rollback car trailer. And I need a trailer because, as you've seen a couple times, I've borrowed a trailer off a good friend of mine, and I like borrowing it because it's not an expensive trailer. I know where he got it from and what he paid for it, or about what he paid for it. So I know that if I mess this trailer up, I'll just buy him a new trailer. And you know, I wouldn't borrow something and tear it up without replacing it. I'm not planning on it, but you don't never know what's going to happen, you know. A log truck's coming by. You never know what's going to happen. People stealing stuff and everything else. So if it's going to be in my possession, I'm going to be responsible for it. So I can use this and build a trailer like I want. And just a matter of time. I just need to get this, like I said, I need to get this over to his place and slide the boat off. But for now, I've got a Land Rover that is mine that I have got to take and drop off somewhere to somebody. So this worked out really well. I'm going to have to move this van. I put this van right here in the middle because Highway Patrol, after a accident, has to inspect everything. So, you know, do measurements on wheelbase, the width, tire tread, how much tread was on them, you know, and they do that because if somebody gets killed in an accident, you know, and there's a lawsuit, then they need to have all their information. So, but anyway, this is the one that I've got to get out of here, and I think I've already got it in neutral. So it shouldn't be too bad, but I gotta, like I said, move this van. So I'm gonna move this, load this thing up. I'll drop it at his place. It's actually between here and my place. All right. I bet it would last longer than you'd think. Sure don't sound good. Okay, this has got the 4.0 in it. I usually don't get good batteries and all that stuff, so actually pretty lucky here. Recycled. Oh, looky there. Is that the timing chain come through the side? Is that the cracked head he was talking about? Cracked valve cover? Yep, timing chain. Never seen that before. You know, I know these got two chains in them, I think one in the back, but that's a pretty bad chain when they start busting to the side of the engine, or the valve cover at least. Alright folks, we're on our way to pick up another one. Gotta find out where it's at here. Oh, this ain't too bad. Let's see it anyway. I don't like loading so crooked. We'll figure it out. Alright, we got her. We'll go drop this one off and then head back toward the house.